Hi, I'm Ambar, and this is Ambar in real life. This podcast is my space to share the journey of becoming. Through honest reflections, personal stories, and conversations with people in my life who have shaped who I am. From health and self worth to love, career, and everything in between, I'm here to speak what's true and sometimes comment on some of my posts that I've written on my blog, Ambar Virtual. If you are on your own path of growth and craving real connection, welcome. You're not alone. Hey you! Welcome back to Ambar in Real Life, my personal audio journal where I explore the beautiful, messy, and transformative journey of becoming. I'm so glad that you're here, really, whether you have been following my blog, Ambar Virtual, or just stumble upon this space. I really hope that today's reflection lands somewhere meaningful for you. Please let me know, share your thoughts with me as well in the comments. Today, I want to talk about something that shows up in all of our lives. Some days, like a whisper, some other days, like a storm, and that is anxiety. But more specifically, I want to talk about the structure of anxiety, what it's built on, what's underneath it, and how we can begin to reclaim our relationship with it. So, something that I've been thinking and reflecting a lot about lately is that the structure of anxiety is fear. Like it's actually rooted in fear. In my personal experience, anxiety isn't just a flurry of thoughts or a racing heartbeat or a sense that something terrible or bad might happen. At its core, anxiety is often a fear response, a reaction to a story that our mind just created and started to telling us about it that we haven't questioned yet. And the sad part about this whole thing is that those stories can be incredibly convincing. So let me tell you how this showed up for me recently. Just a very small example. I had to make this decision. It was important, small but important, a personal boundary that I had to set with someone very close to me that I really care about. And I kept delaying the conversation, like putting it off, overthinking it, feeling tense every time I imagined what could go wrong. I lost so much time doing that, obviously. I was just telling myself that it was because I didn't want to hurt anyone, I didn't want to disappoint anyone, so I needed more time to think it through, that maybe it wasn't a big deal, that maybe the boundary that I knew I had to set wasn't that important, which is obviously a very big red flag when you know that you have to set a boundary. Please do. Please do. But in the end, the whole truth, after I had this conversation with my friend, after everything happened, I realized that beneath all of these overthinking and crazy thoughts that I was having, there was fear. I was scared of disappointing my friend. I was scared of being misunderstood by her. I was scared that if I asserted my needs, I wouldn't be loved the same way. And that's the thing about anxiety. It wears masks. It's often wearing a pretty costume, sometimes perfectionism, sometimes it's people pleasing, sometimes also productivity. And that's kind of like the one that I usually see in myself. When we slow down long enough to look underneath this anxiety and these emotions, what we often find is fear of rejection, fear of judgment, fear of not being enough. And the thing is that unless we name these emotions, that we name this fear, it will continue calling the shots. It will continue making the decisions. And as adults, we cannot let that happen. We can't. We're not kids anymore. There are responsibilities, and for some of us, there are people that count on us. More importantly than all of this is that we count on ourselves to be okay. So we really have to start seeing all of these emotions as something that, yes, are part of us, but they don't define us and they don't get to decide how we react to life and to the circumstances around us. So here's what I've noticed in my life and in conversations with people that I really care about is that when we let anxiety run the show, we start outsourcing our worth. We make choices and decisions from a place of what will they think? Are they going to think bad of me? Instead of what feels true to me right now? What is the best thing that I can do to support myself? When we don't do this, we just start overextending ourselves to avoid conflict. We suppress our own needs because we're afraid that our needs are going to inconvenience someone else. That's crazy. That for me is one of the many definitions of craziness, honestly. And over time, that fear-based living really chip away at us. It really eat us from the inside out, mentally, emotionally, and physically. And in the end, we end up being resented, exhausted, and disconnected from ourselves and our needs. That's when burnout comes, that's when depression comes. Now, I want to be clear, this isn't about controlling our thoughts in some hyper discipline kind of way. I'm not talking about suppressing anxiety or pretending that we're not scared. No, no, no. What I'm talking about, it's about relationship, creating a different relationship with our thoughts, one where we're not blindly believing every single anxious thought or story or narrative, one where we can pause, where we can breathe, get curious, and actually say, wait a minute. Is this fear talking right now? Is this story actually true? That's the mindset shift I would love everyone to work toward. Not controlling our thoughts or emotions, but being aware of what are the facts and what is the actual truth in the present moment. So, what I really wanted to do is to start questioning your thoughts and stop believing everything. Just start asking, is this actually true? So, for me, doing this practice looks like journaling, and that's why I have Ambar Virtual. It actually began a long time ago when I was a little kid, and I wrote every single thing that passed through my mind. So each time I felt overwhelmed or had a lot of racing thoughts, I would just start in notebooks and I will start writing. I will later on start using my phone notes and start writing there. So naming the fear, naming the emotion, giving it its space actually to express, to say what it needs to say, to ask the question that needs. And this is a moment where we can ask questions to it too, like, why are you here and what do you need from me? So that's one way that I do it, that I practice this journaling. Another one is walking in nature. I live close to the beach, so I can go to the port and just start walking, hearing the sound of the waves, letting my thoughts just sometimes run wild and then settle down. And this actually helps me a lot with, hearing my own voice again. Because sometimes the noise is so much that I really don't know what is happening. I really don't know what I need. And that's when I really need these moments of quiet and reflection. For other people, it can also look like therapy, meditation, taking deep breath. It can also mean just pausing during the day, each day, and asking, what do I need right now? And give it to yourself. But more than anything, this looks like not abandoning myself just to feel safe in someone else's eyes. Because that's what fear tries to get us to do, to abandon ourselves, to give everything that we have, our energy, our power, our peace of mind to everyone else except us. So I want you to reflect on this. And if any of these resonated with you, I want to offer you a really gentle reminder. You don't have to live from a place of fear anymore. You are allowed to question the voice that tells you that you are too much, or that you have to make everyone happy, or that if you speak up, they'll leave, or you'll get fired. No, no, no. Those are old stories, and you can write new ones. You can begin again, one thought at a time, one choice at a time. You can say no without guilt. You can set boundaries around the things that are important to you and still be loved. You can trust yourself more than the fear that's been whispering lies to you all this time. So here's what I'm sitting with, and maybe it's something that you can carry with you too. If the structure of anxiety is fear, then maybe the antidote isn't control, but compassion and curiosity. It's giving yourself permission to slow down and check in with yourself. Is this thought helping me become more of who I am? Or is it pulling me away from myself? Because every time you choose presence over panic, clarity over chaos, and self trust over self abandonment, you are restructuring something deep within yourself. You're choosing to grow from a place of love instead of fear. And that's the most powerful decision that you can make for your peace of mind. I truly believe that. So, thanks so much for being with me here today, for listening, for showing up for yourself. If this episode stirs something in you, moves some little emotions deep inside, feel free to share it, to reflect on it, or even send me a message. I love hearing how these thoughts and how my experiences land in your world, because I know that how I experience things is not the same as how others do. So I just wanted to let you know that you are not alone in this journey. We are all learning how to come home to ourselves, even in the presence of fear. So until next time, please take care of your mind, take care of your body, and take care of your heart. Bye.